Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Empire on Deck. I am Roman, and let's recap the action from Wednesday, April 15th. That's right, Jackie Robinson Day, the day that every player in Major League Baseball wears the number 42 in honor of the great Jackie Robinson. So let's jump into the action. First up, we have the Diamondbacks and the Orioles. And the story in this one was basically all Adrian Del Castillo, as he went 2 for 5 with a homer and a triple, knocking in 5 of Arizona's 8 runs. And if you're keeping track, Baltimore as a team scored 5 runs in this game, so Adrian Del Castillo by himself tied the Baltimore Orioles. And that homer that he hit was the go-ahead homer in the 10th inning, as Arizona won this one 8-5 in 10. Not to be forgotten, Baltimore's Jeremiah Jackson, after having a huge game one day ago, went 2 for 5 himself with another homer and 3 more RBIs. So Jeremiah Jackson is heating up for Baltimore, but it wasn't enough as Arizona won this one 8-5 on the back of Adrian Del Castillo. Dustin May was solid in this one for the Cardinals, going 6 innings, allowing 1 earned run and 4 strikeouts. Tuesday's walk-off hero, Nathan Church, went 3 for 4 with a double and an RBI. And St. Louis was content to play small ball as they stole 4 bases on their way to a 5-3 victory over the Cleveland Guardians. The Boston Red Sox finally got their revenge on the Minnesota Twins, who have been hitting them hard so far in this series, as Boston starter Connolly Early went 6 innings pitched, allowed just 2 hits, 1 earned run with 5 strikeouts. That 1 run came on a homer by Austin Martin. Trevor Story did the heavy lifting for Boston, as he notched a homer and a double and drove in 5 RBIs. And Boston enjoyed a 5-run third inning, which did make all the difference as they won by 4, 9-5 over the Minnesota Twins. Seth Lugo pitched well again, as he went 6 2/3 for the Royals, allowing just 1 earned run and 7 strikeouts. But this was a pitcher's duel, as Jack Flaherty also pitched well for Detroit, going 6 innings, allowing just 2 hits, an earned run, and 7 strikeouts as well. Jack Caglione had a big day, going 3 for 3 with a triple. But it was Wencel Perez hitting the go-ahead home run for Detroit in the bottom of the 8th in this one, in a low-scoring affair, 2-1, with Detroit coming out on top. Pittsburgh's Carmen Mlodzinski was great on the mound, going 6 shutout innings against the Washington Nationals and striking out 5. Marcell Ozuna and Nick Gonzalez each picked up an RBI single in the first inning, and it was all zeros after that, as Pittsburgh won this one 2-0, and there was just 8 total hits between the two teams in this game. The Cincinnati Reds beat the San Francisco Giants on Wednesday 8-3, despite only out-hitting them by 1 hit, thanks in large part to Sal Stewart collecting 2 homers for his first career multi-homer game, 2 homers and 6 RBIs in the first 2 innings. Rhett Lauder went 6 2/3 for Cincinnati on the mound, giving up just 3 earned runs and 4 strikeouts, and Eugenio Suarez added a homer as well. As I said, Cincinnati won this one 8-3, but the big story was Sal Stewart's 6 RBIs. As I said from Tuesday's video, the Cubs got revenge on the Phillies for an offensive outburst on Monday, but they continued their hot hitting on Wednesday, as they scored 11 runs on 15 hits to beat the Phillies 11-2. Nico Horner continued his hot hitting, going 3 for 5 with a homer and knocking in 5 of those 11 RBIs. And Matt Shaw added 2 RBIs of his own, going 3 for 4 with 3 doubles. But Shota Imanaga was just as much a story as anyone else, going 6 innings, giving up just 3 hits and 1 earned run, and tying his career high with 11 strikeouts. The Cubs beat the Phillies for the second straight day, 11-2. In the game against the Yankees and the Angels, which has been a close series so far, Judge and Trout trade homers. It's Mike Trout's 3rd straight game with a homer. Logan O'Hoppe and Adam Frazier also added homers for the Angels, and Trent Grisham featured a 2-run single in this one. But it was Caballero playing the hero in this one, as he had a 2-run walk-off single in the bottom of the 9th to help the Yankees steal this one from the Angels 5-4. In the series finale between the Atlanta Braves and the Miami Marlins, Bryce Elder was excellent again, going 5 2/3 shutout innings, allowing just 4 hits and striking out 7, lowering his season ERA to 0.77. He's been one of the sharpest pitchers in the majors this season. Offensively for Atlanta, Ozzie Albies, Matt Olson, and Austin Riley all homer. Liam Hicks did homer in the 8th, and it made it closer, but didn't really help all that much, as the Braves won the finale 6-3. And after a hot start to the season, the Marlins have now lost 7 of the last 10 games. Looking at my notes now, I'm realizing that I forgot about the game between the Tampa Bay Rays and the Chicago White Sox. But Tampa Bay scored 8 runs on 9 hits to beat the White Sox 8-3 and win their 5th straight game to further take control of the AL East lead. Milwaukee, you can finally take a breath, because this was a pitcher's duel between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Milwaukee Brewers, with Dylan Cease going 6 shutout innings, allowing just 2 hits and 6 strikeouts, and Milwaukee's Chad Patrick matching that, going 6 2/3 innings, allowing just 3 hits and 1 earned run. Milwaukee scored 2 in the bottom of the 8th on a William Contreras RBI single and a Bryce Terang groundout. And finally, after days of what seemed like Milwaukee giving it a good effort but coming up just short, they finally do enough to end their losing streak at 6 and beat the Toronto Blue Jays 2-1. I'm realizing that I dropped another game off my notes with the Colorado Rockies and the Houston Astros, but the Astros, after losing 8 straight, have now won 2 in a row against the Rockies, 3-1, and Yordan Alvarez led the way with a homer in that one. The home runs were flying between the Texas Rangers and the Athletics, with Corey Seager and Jake Berger homering for Texas, and Shea Langoliers and Jacob Wilson matching that for the Athletics. But it was the Athletics coming out on top by just 1 run, 6-5, as they continue to play good baseball. They are now 10-8 on the season. The next game was definitely the craziest of the night between the Seattle Mariners and the San Diego Padres. The Mariners jumped out to a 6-0 lead in this one. Emerson Hancock went 6 innings, allowed just 4 hits, 2 runs, striking out 6. Luke Raley led the way for Seattle, going 4 for 5 with a double, a home run, and 2 RBIs. Randy Arozarena went 2 for 4 with a double, and he scored 3 runs. But San Diego started the comeback in the 6th inning with a 2-run Xander Bogaerts homer to cut the lead to 6-2. And then San Diego went on to score 5 runs in the 9th, capped by a Jackson Merrill RBI walk-off double. Incredible victory for the San Diego Padres, who might have already been the hottest team in baseball coming into this game, but they come back from down 6-0 to win 7-6 for their 7th straight victory. So 7 was the lucky number for San Diego tonight as they come all the way back against Seattle. And in the final game of the night, for the first time in a long time, Shohei Ohtani took the mound as the starting pitcher and was not in the lineup as a hitter. But they didn't need him in the lineup because Shohei on the mound went 6 innings, allowed just 1 earned run with 10 strikeouts. And it was Dalton Rushing that picked up the slack for Shohei on offense, notching a homer, a double, and driving in 4 RBIs. And Ha-Seong Kim also got the Dodgers on the board early with a 2-run homer in the 1st inning. And the lowly New York Mets, who, yes, are still lowly, scored 2 runs on just 5 hits in this one. And they have now lost 8 in a row. It's always interesting. I was just talking today to someone about, I love that Steve Cohen acts like I wish a lot of owners would act. And he says, you know what, we're going to go after the free agents. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to do our best to improve this team. And yet year in and year out, it just seems like the chemistry is not there. And all this talent cannot gel together and result in consistent playoff baseball, which I find just very interesting. But right now, things are very low in Queens as they await the return of Juan Soto to the lineup, as they have now lost 8 in a row and have fallen to 7-12 on the season, which is good for last place in the NL East. So that is all the stats and scores that I have for you on this April 15th Jackie Robinson Day edition of Empire on Deck. And until we can recap Thursday's action, I'm Roman. I'll see you on the next one.